As many of you will know, I've spent a good couple of days now being thoroughly thrilled by the results of the American election and what amazing American people have done. But I've seen a few times people saying, but so what, Katie? Why does it matter? That you're British. So what does it matter for Britain? Or I've seen actually from Americans too. But so what, you're British, this is an American election, I don't really understand why it impacts you guys. So I thought I'd try and explain. And there's three big reasons, and then a sort of a personal PS. So the three big reasons as I see it, why does it matter? Firstly, it's a rational reason, right? So a rational set of reasons that Donald J. Trump and his team of brilliant people will restore stuff that makes sense. He'll restore things like, gender and biology. He'll restore the fact that there's only two biological sexes, that men can't compete against women in sports, or men can't go into females' changing rooms or locker rooms or shower rooms, and just restoring stuff. Restore the family, pride in the traditional family, mum and dad and kids. And any other makeup you want to be, that's fine, but it just won't be forced in people's faces. Be whatever you want to be, just don't try and persuade others of what you think. So the traditional family will be restored. It'll be restoring faith, so Christian country, one nation under God, putting that first. You can believe whatever you want, you can believe any religion you want, you can be part of any religion, but America fundamentally is one nation under God. So it's fundamental stuff, fundamental biology, fundamental freedoms, family, all the stuff that makes America so great, and all the stuff that actually helps give people something to believe in. Because the biggest gulf at the moment, the thing that's missing from everyone's lives, is a sense of belonging, because it was taken away because of dismantling of the church, the dismantling of the family, the dismantling of the country. Everybody becomes a nomad with nothing to believe in and nowhere to belong. He'll restore that stuff. The second reason is really a fundamental, and it makes much more sense to Americans than it does to Brits. You just got to accept that. But having spent so much time there, I really get it. And maybe ex-military, I really got it in the first place. The major reason, my first reason really, is a really pragmatic one, which is that Americans have a constitutional right to bear arms. And America has the greatest civilian militia of any country on the planet. And during the Biden administration, that militia became stronger. And this can sound very dark if you're anti-guns, or you don't really understand weapons, or you don't understand the Second Amendment. But it's the reason America will stand. If all others fail, America will still stand, because of the Constitution, because of the Second Amendment, because Americans have the right to bear arms. And if you speak to any decent South African, they'll tell you the biggest mistake South Africans made was handing in their weapons after apartheid, because it's those same weapons that are used against white farmers now by corrupt black police. The right to bear arms means America will remain free, even if and when others fall. So to have power back with Donald J. Trump, someone that respects the Constitution, means America has 4, I'd argue possibly 8 years worth of reinforcing Second Amendment rights and constitutional rights. And bear in mind, the American Constitution guarantees your right to be as free as it's possible for you to be, to live your life without interference, and to pursue happiness. I mean, that's an amazing set of principles. And then the final reason is an emotional one. And it's that sense of hope, of America. We are just a little island still, no matter how proud I might be of it. And the lights on the hill, the shining beacon, all of that good stuff. That's what the Trump win is as well. It's 80+ million Americans saying, we see you, don't worry, we got this. It's us looking over beyond ourselves and going, oh, America, there's hope. You know, even if we go down, America will not. That's emotional stuff, but it's massive. And that's why it's so emotional watching Americans turn out to vote, long lines of exactly the Americans that I know best, in their trucks, being lovely to each other, supporting each other, helping each other. You know, a festival of families that just want everything to be great. So that's the emotional stuff and how that reflects for us. And I know it's so meaningful to so many British people. I went to the butcher's yesterday. They were like, yes. So if you're asking as an American, does it matter? It really matters. And then I guess a PS from myself, if I may. And the PS is that when I was utterly shunned from my own country for 5 years, you know, unable to, well, live, unable to speak, unable to work, unable to be a mum, unable to, well, just be, I kind of just left to America because I needed to protect my children from me, and in like a sort of a dying thing in the water that attracts the sharks, I needed to take myself off so that my children wouldn't be circled by the sharks. And America gave me a home. I stayed on the road for 5 years. Americans took me in. Americans let me stand on a stage. Americans let me speak and let me listen to them. And I really, really got to understand the place. Every lady from the Republican women for Trump with their clipboards campaigning to recall Gavin Newsom or to ensure people are informed about certain changes in laws. The ladies who do the raffles and make these baskets to fundraise. Great American men that set out chairs and clear up after and bring the trucks and bring the food. I know that every single one of them made this win possible. And they didn't just do it for a year, and they didn't just do it for 2 months before an election. They didn't just do it to run up into the campaign cycle. They weren't paid by anyone to do any of it. In fact, a lot of them, most of them, gave loads of their own stuff, hosted me, you know, gave me a place to stay, fed me often. They did all that, but not just for a few months. They did it for 4 years before the stolen election, my personal opinion. Where are those 20 million votes now? And they did it for another 4 years because they were so determined to get Trump back in. And so my PS is to all those men and women, I see you, I hear you, and I cannot wait to see you at the inauguration. So if you're wondering why it matters to a Brit, I hope that helps explain. And if you're British and wondering why it matters, even if you disagree with me, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. But mostly just thank you. Thank you to all the brilliant Americans that made this possible. I wouldn't have, if I could live through one thing, it would be this.